In this video, I'm going to be doing a tutorial for the VAIO Mcode patcher. This tool solves one of the major issues that people run into when they're trying to restore their VAIO back to the factory installation. You found some Sony Recovery Media for a model that's close but not exact. When you're trying to use it, you'll get blocked. You'll get a message that the model doesn't match. With this tool, you can now bypass that model check and you can use any media that you found, preferably within the same family, and restore your VAIO back to the factory installation. Now there's a more detailed explanation on the website, but in short, every set of VAIO recovery disks has a unique Mcode identifier. They describe it as like the Windows sticker on a car, all the options. In this case, the recovery media is going to come with dozens and dozens of different options, everything that makes up the recovery. That includes the drivers for your GPU, which Wi-Fi card you have, all the different drivers that you need for the machine, but also all the different software. So all the different bundled apps, the different trials that it comes with, even the different language packs, Windows patches. Each one of those has a unique ID, and they all get combined together to make this Mcode. Now Sony has put this Mcode configuration into the BIOS and it can't be changed. So when you're doing your recovery, the Mcode of the recovery disk is compared to what's in the BIOS. If it doesn't match, then it blocks the installation. That's why if you're trying to use the recovery media for a very similar model, like there's only a single letter or number off, it can be blocked because if there's a single difference, they use a slightly different Wi-Fi card, network card, or even if a single bundled application is different, it no longer matches. So what this tool does is it looks at the Mcode for your recovery media. You can actually generate a new Mcode by tweaking which drivers and applications you want installed. It then puts that Mcode into a file along with a patched DLL, which tricks the recovery installation. It redirects it. So when it tries to do the check to see what the Mcode is for your current machine, rather than looking at the BIOS, it instead looks at the file that we've added to the recovery media. Of course, this is always going to match, so the recovery proceeds. All credit for this tool goes to Shadow Labs and YGJSZ on the Vaio Library and Sony Plaza Discord. So now let me show you how to use this tool and patch some recovery media. So first we're on the mcoded.net website and we download the latest version here. Next we need to get some recovery media. Now for this example, I'm going to be doing a patch for my VPC CW21FX. Now a good starting point would be the Vaio Library archive. We search for our model. We have VPC CW. We see what's available here. You can see here's the 21FX. This is one I've already patched, so we'll just ignore that one. But otherwise, the closest one seems to be this 20GX. Slightly different model number, but it's pretty close, closer than these other ones. You also want to pay attention to the language, just to make sure you're not downloading a German or French installation, because typically it's not easy to change after the fact. Let's take a look at this one. It's on archive.org. So the recovery disks, 4 disks. See, this is English. It's going to have 4 ISO images. If there's nothing on the Vaio library, you can search archive.org directly, just in case it wasn't added there. The Vaio library also does host some recoveries that you won't find anywhere else. Now a note, this tool currently only supports Windows Vista, Windows 7, and Windows 8 recoveries. It doesn't currently support Windows XP or earlier, and some very early Vista installations are actually using the same system as XP, so they won't work. So let's download our ISOs and move on to the next step. Now here are my 4 ISOs. Typically, your recoveries are going to be ISOs. Now later Vaio models did give the option to make recoveries on USB flash drives. The process is pretty much the same. You'll be able to work directly off of the USB flash drive, modify it there, rather than modifying ISO files. So next we need to extract out these ISO files that we downloaded. I use WinRAR for this. It's technically free. Show more. WinRAR. Extract each into its own folder. So now we have the contents of all 4 ISO files. So now let's launch the tool. And here it is, the VAIO Mcode patcher. You can see it does a version check at the very beginning. Make sure you have the newest version. Up top, we have our input files. These are files that we're going to take from our recovery media that's going to process, where it's going to save them. Our target operating system, it'll set this automatically based on the recovery, what it sees. We can turn on more detailed logging for troubleshooting. Here's where we generate the files needed for our patch. We can save our log in case there's an issue, need troubleshooting. Clear our log. Here's all the information it detected based on our recovery files. We'll see more here once we get going. Progress bar, log. Under the menus, we have our modes. There's a standard mode and advanced mode. The advanced mode lets you use the mapper, which lets you configure which of the different packages will be included. For this demo here, I'll turn on advanced mode. Under tools, we can reverse an Mcode. We have a version checker. This will tell you which version of the patch you need. It's not really required anymore. This is done automatically now. Under help, about, donate, FAQ. So let's get started patching our recovery. Under input files, we need to give it these 3 files. We'll put the results into the app folder by default. Hit browse. Come to recovery media. The disk 1 that we extracted. The files we need are all going to be on disk 1. Now you're going to find this in the IDF folder. Now in some Windows 8 recoveries, this IDF folder and the other file may be found underneath sources. Come in here, here's the file, we select it. Now in this other file, this is typically found in the root of the recovery disk. See it right here. And now we need the final file, sit.wdmi dll. Again, this is the file that's responsible for checking the BIOS for your Mcode that we're going to replace with a patched version. Let's find this file. Let's jump back into our recovery, disk 1, and let's do a search for it. We can see this file appears 3 times in the Sony plugins folder, Sony Combo Restore plugins, and the Auto Run folder. So remember this location. Back in the app, we browse to it. Remember there's one in Auto Run. There it is. So now you can see we have a little more information in our detected info based on all the files that we've given it. It knows that this is a Windows 7 recovery. If we had to, we can override this, but generally you want to leave this. It's also looked at our DLL. Over time, Sony used different versions of this DLL. You can see in this case, this was 1.8.1, 10.160. There are 5 different versions of the patch. You can see based on this, we have a patchable recovery and it needs version 3 of the DLL. It'll take care of this automatically. So we hit extract Mcode to generate our files. Now because we're in advanced mode, we get to see the mapping screen. These are all the different packages that are possible on the recovery media and what's enabled. There's some partial mappings and some rejected mappings. We'd want to ignore those. We can also hide duplicates. So all these together, whatever is checked is what makes our final Mcode. Now we can expand all these to see what actually is contained within each. So you can see this code contains Office 2007 Professional, but there's another one for home and student. Then we have some anti-spyware tools, a bunch of VAIO programs, some regional data, Photoshop, Premiere, all kinds of different packages. Your antivirus, trials. We even have some drivers here. You can just accept the defaults or you can customize this. For example, if you didn't want to have your internet security, you could uncheck this. There also may be a case where you know some hardware isn't supporting your machine. For example, if the low-end model came with just integrated graphics, but the higher-end model came with an integrated NVIDIA GPU, you at the low end, you may uncheck the NVIDIA driver since you know it won't work. Or if there's some other incompatibility when you're restoring and it's getting hung up on one particular package, you can uncheck it. So based on everything checked here, that's what makes your Mcode. And that's why even the slightest difference can block a recovery. For example, if one model came with Pro and yours came with Student, that would be a different M code and wouldn't work. So if any of the bundled applications or wallpaper or drivers or trials are different, it wouldn't work. Not without doing these patches. So let's accept all the defaults. We get our summary screen, Windows 7, our new M code, our DLL. You can see what we've bundled with it. We can open the folder directly, see the files it's generated. Again, it's saving here by default in the app folder. So let's take a look at the files that it's made. So it's given us this build ID file. This is information about the version of Windows. Here's our M code file. This is our new configuration string. This is the file that our patch is going to refer to now. Instead of looking in the BIOS, it'll look in this file for our code. This one's just a log. We don't need this. Here's our patch DLL. This is going to replace the original throughout. And then it's also giving us the renamed version, adding _ORIG of the original DLL, because these still need to work together. You still need the original. So let's put these files together into their own folder. I'm going to show you two different ways to create the patched ISOs. The first way is completely free using free software, and the second, a little easier, using PowerISO, but that's a commercial application. The first method is very similar to what you'll do if you were doing a USB recovery. So let me copy these 4 files into the clipboard. Copy. Let's go back and look at our recovery. So we need to come into each disk, disk 1 here. Again, do our search. Find every place where that file is. You can see this file is found in multiple folders. Let's come to the first file, right click, say open file location, and let's paste those 4 files from the clipboard. It's going to overwrite that original file. And we go back. Let's open the next one and paste, override. Let's go back, open location, paste, replace, and everything on disk 1 has been updated. So we just repeat the process on the other disks. It occurs 4 times here. Replace. Paste. Just hitting Control V here. Okay, disk 3. It only occurs 1 time on this disk. And finally, disk 4. Just once here. And sometimes it won't appear on a disk. Then you won't have to modify that disk. So now our folders are updated. Now again, if we were doing a USB recovery, we'd be making these changes directly on the drive. So we'd be done at this point. We can go boot off our USB stick. So now we have to turn these folders back into an ISO. Now this is a bootable ISO. So what I do is I run WinImage, kind of like WinRAR. This is a free program that never actually seems to expire. Let's open up that ISO. Let's go into Image, Boot Sector Properties, and let's export this. Let's just save it as boot. Okay, and exit. You can see here's our boot image file, little 2K file. So now let's run ImgBurn. This is free software. We choose create image file from folders. For our source, we select disk 1. We come into advanced, bootable disk, make it bootable, and we choose that image file. Our destination, give it a different name. I'll add patched, save, create. Now it's telling me I selected just the one folder. I actually want to select the contents. I'll let it do that for me. Keep the name. And it's complete, and we have our patched ISO here. We just repeat the same process on the other disks, although we don't need to make them bootable. We add disk 2, change our file name, and write. And so on for disk 3 and 4. So now let me show you how to do this in PowerISO. Now this is fairly inexpensive, but it is a paid application. There's a trial, but the file size limitations make it so you can't really modify these ISOs. So here's PowerISO. We open our first disk image, disk 1. Now we still need to refer back to find those files. See, the first one is in Sony, plugins here, Sony combo, and then the auto run. So let's jump back, come into Sony, plugins. See, there it is. Add. Come into our patch folder, select all the files, and add. We're overriding the existing files. Next was in combo, plugins, add all these files, and overwrite. And the final one was in auto run. There it is. Add all the files, overwrite. So we can just come up to File, Save As, give it our patched, and it's going to write out a new ISO, bootable ISO, that we can burn with our model lock removed. Now sometimes these recoveries are a little picky, they're not 100%. Now I have run into some issues. I'm not sure if this is when it's being archived or just a problem with Sony's original discs. When you update an ISO this way, it kind of becomes corrupted and no longer bootable. Pretty rare. In that case though, it does seem like using the other method, the more manual method, is a bit more reliable. It is possible that the original image just is bad though. So now let me show you one final thing related to Windows 8 recoveries. When you're extracting your M-code, it's going to ask for which version of Windows that this should be for. In this case, there's only 2. Sometimes I've seen up to 5. Now, unfortunately, there's not a way for the tool to know which of these is the correct option. Basically, you're just going to have to pick the one that seems like it makes the most sense, make a recovery, and test it. Now, if during the recovery process you get a 320 error, you know that you've picked the wrong one. You basically have to come back here, choose the next option, add the updated INI files to your recovery, and try again. But that's it. Again, all credit to the original creators, Shadow Labs and YGJSC. This awesome tool is going to make it a lot easier for me to achieve my goal of running factory recoveries on all my VAIOs. Thanks for watching.